Hey, welcome to the Hell Has an Exit podcast. I'm your host, Bryan Alzate. This show is not affiliated with any specific 12-step program. If you or a loved one is struggling with an addiction, please find a local 12-step meeting. If you believe you may need detox or drug treatment of any kind, please call 833-999-1877 to speak to a specialist. The show is sponsored by United Recovery Project, a state-of-the-art drug and alcohol rehab facility. You can visit our website at unitedrecoveryproject.com. Hey guys, welcome to Hell Has an Exit. I'm your host, Bryan Alzate. This show is sponsored by United Recovery Project. If you guys are struggling, please reach out to the 1-800 number before the show, or you could just go to the website, unitedrecoveryproject.com. If you or someone is struggling, you can also send them this via text message or however you want to do it. Like and subscribe. We are full audio and video. So if you guys want to listen to us, you could go on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever they have podcasts. And if you want to watch us, you could go on YouTube. So today I have my boy Gary P in the building. Gary P is coming up on 10 years clean. You're from Pennsylvania?
Jersey,
okay. So,
I like Pennsylvania, though.
You like Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania is probably my favorite state.
Really?
Yeah, and Colorado.
Why? I don't know anyone in that.
You ever seen that show Banshee?
Mm-mm.
It's like a Starz original. It's Amazon Prime, but it's like based in Pennsylvania. And I did live in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. And it's got like this old architecture. It's got like a real like, I don't know, like you've made it vibe.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's weird. I can't explain it.
What's it feel like coming up on 10 years?
Oh, man. It's been a ride, dude. I mean, like, just feels like, I don't know. I just haven't used in a while. Like, It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I remember when they were kicking me out of treatment.
You got kicked out?
Yeah, I got kicked out.
For what?
Letting air out of the van tires and like
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we were letting air because
Why?
All right, so we were in this day treatment like phase, right? And like if we let the air out of the van tire, they like couldn't take us to programming. Right? So we did it that night and like we threw exit houses and like
what?
Yeah, like we set the fire extinguisher off on this kid. And they like caught us
Who
coming
thought
back.
to let the air out?
This kid Scott, dude. I urinated. I literally lit
Urinated? Wait, what?
I was laughing so hard as he was letting the air out of the van tire. I lit a Newport and I had it in my mouth dangling and I was laughing so hard. I didn't even take one hit off the cigarette. It just like burnt itself out. That's how hard I was laughing. My stomach hurt for 3 days. We woke up.
Look, but I own an operated treatment center. I've worked in treatment for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
I almost don't want this to get out because some kid is going to go to treatment and let the air.
I'm not glorifying letting the air out of the van tires. That's just part of my story. But anyway, dude, we woke up and the tire was flat, and here comes like another van to replace that van. So we're like, dude, our plan did not work. But instead, like, of just going to like regular PHP that day, we went to the principal's office, executive director, and he's like, bro, you gotta go. So
how did they catch you?
They caught me. Well, no, it was like obvious who it was. Like there was a bunch of like old people. It was like me and this kid Scott, and like Hanson was there, but like he wasn't a part of it.
Oh my god! Shout out Hanson.
Yeah, shout out Andrew Hanson. But yeah, they were like, yo, you gotta go, man. Like you're not. I was about to graduate too. This is like the time that I got clean from. I just walked into the day room where group was like morning meditation. I stopped meditation. I was like, yo, I just want everybody to know I'm getting a year clean, then I'm gonna get high.
Wow.
Because I wanted to set that milestone. Because my mom was like, yo, you're going to die a junkie and all this shit. So I was like, yo, fuck it. I'm going to get a year, whether it's spiritual or like spiteful. You know what I mean? To show you. But the crowd went nuts, bro. They're like, yo, Gary. People were throwing chairs. They were excited, bro. One lady got hit. It was crazy.
Shut up.
Nah, for real. But like the group facilitator stopped. It was Will G. And he was like, nah, what he means to say is, he's gonna reach a goal and like took the spiritual like spin on it. But like the fact is, like I wanted to say, yo, I have a year clean. Like, check it out.
So how was growing up like?
Only child. I mean, I don't know, skater.
Yeah.
Smoking weed. I had an afro.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You seen the afro?
Pictures. Yeah.
I had an afro. Like my dad was a carpenter. Mom's a PO. Like it was a weird mix.
What part of Jersey are you from?
Spring Lake Heights.
What's that like?
It's like the poor part of a real rich neighborhood like named Spring Lake, but it's like middle class.
When did you start using?
I drank.
You started with the wacky tobacco?
Nah, I didn't even smoke cigarettes, dude.
Really?
You're talking about weed?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't call it that up there. We just called it nugget or weed.
Nugget?
But no, I drank spiced rum, dude, in 8th grade. And I was listening to Bouncing Souls and this one song on repeat, and like we were the shit. And then I started smoking weed, and like I remember like just loving weed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Hey, it was Friday night. It was time to go party. I was like, nah, I got weed, bro.
Yeah.
I'm good, family guy and shit. But it was, I don't know, man. Like I loved weed. Like it went along with the skate park and the skating.
When did you start skating?
I started skating when I was like 10.
Did you play sports too or just skate?
I played soccer. I played like baseball. But like as far as like those are grammar school, elementary sports. Like high school, I was at the skate park with a blunt behind my ear.
Really?
Yeah.
The cool kid?
Yeah. Homework was for like losers. I was in summer school every year.
What was your parents like?
My mom was like...
You have siblings?
No, I'm an only child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my dad had moved out of the house when I was like 11. So like before like I started being like a nuisance, you know? And like my mom was just like, all right, curfew is this, but I'd come home blunted, eyes red, like hair out to here. And it just became like the norm, like doing my homework in study hall. Like
summer school.
I got horrible grades. And then one year I got like an A+ in lab bio. My mom's like, this isn't abnormal. How'd you do this? And I'm like, truth is I cheated up this girl, Claire Palmer, the whole class, dude. And I just got an A.
Nice.
And like it brought my grade up. But I was in summer school every year in high school, dude, and like just not doing homework. And like one year in summer school, I failed summer school.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went for a whole summer for nothing. It sucked. It was horrible.
Did you graduate?
I graduated, but I had like 100 detentions remaining.
Detentions?
Yeah, because like if you show up late for school, you get demerits. And if you have so many demerits, you get a detention. But I would skip like detention and then be like, all right, you skip detention, you get a Saturday detention. But I would skip that too. So I would never. And the guy Branley, the assistant principal, was like, Gary, we don't ever want to see you again, dude. Just leave, bro. You know what I mean?
But bro, you're nice at skating, bro.
I had some skills back in the day. I'm fat now.
Yeah, but you still got it.
I mean, I
landing
could
a
still,
tray flip.
yeah, I could still do like basic mechanic stuff like kick flip, tray flip, nollie flip.
Dean's still better than you?
Shout out Dean Howard. Nah, Dean's got hard flips. He's got a nice tray flip too. Even with his kid, he did like a kick flip holding his kid the other day at the skate park like 3 months ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dean's good. Taco's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, dude, he's out there.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are all super nice.
Yeah, man. When we got,
I did drugs so early that I never was able to get good at anything.
Yeah.
You know, like hardcore drugs were in the picture for me so early. I never like got anything good. Like I never got good at sports, never like got good at a trade, never got good like at art, never like literally had no identity. There was nothing I really identified with as a kid other than like fifth grade.
I remember you were on rollerblades. What was that, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
We were shredding at the Weston skate park.
I still rollerblade.
Or Brian Piccolo.
I probably haven't rollerbladed in like a year, but every once in a while I throw them on because it brings back that one part of my life before drugs.
Yeah, of course, bro.
But yeah, bro, skating's fun.
Yeah, dude. When I got clean,
I can ollie.
You can ollie?
I can ollie. I could do a stationary kickflip.
I remember seeing you doing it at the 12-step house. You're like, let me see your board. But yo, when I got clean this time, with this 10 years, this kid had a skateboard at the 12-step house. Like, yo, let me see that. I did a switch flip. I hadn't skated in fucking years. And I was like, yo, I'm going to get a skateboard. Rob Harry shows up out of a bush somewhere. Yeah, I'll skate.
Bro, that whole crowd of kids that got clean with all of you are just like the best. Know, you guys are just like, I don't know if that goes on anymore or what, but like you guys were just so good. Like all of you together, you're just like so funny. It was great. So
we had a crew, bro. We had me, Taco, Dean, and Rob Harry, and like Dave Mariano was mixed in.
Wait. Let's go back. So when you're smoking weed, whatever, you graduate high school. Barely. And then what happens?
When I graduated.
Is your dad mad? People upset at you? Are you like getting arrested at all?
My dad wasn't really like emotionally connected to my like malfeasance. My mom was though. She was the one like, because she's a PO, right? She was like grabbing her lawyer friend, somebody that would cost like $20K just for like a meeting and like wiping my ass and getting me out of trouble, dude. Keeping me out of prison. So my mom was like pissed because I was getting arrested, dude. Before high school ended, like,
what?
Like one night, it's called the Little League Shack Trilogy. This is the summer after high school. And this is like when stuff like really started to get bad. We were sitting on the first base bleachers at a local Little League Shack. We're just drinking like Jaeger and a 40. And we're like, yo, let's break into the Little League Shack. So we did that. And we stole like frozen cheeseburgers and shit and like candy. We drove up and down the streets just throwing these frozen cheeseburgers through windows, bro. We went to this like town and we threw a frozen cheeseburger through a window and then it broke $1,000 lamp. So like we racked up like a whole bunch of shit. Like iced tea cans got thrown through windows. They took my prints off the iced tea can because I had like...
Really?
Because I had an alcohol beverage control card and like you got to get printed because I was a busboy.
Wow.
So they just took my print
and they ran it?
and it was me.
What the fuck goes on in that town?
I was
like...
pissed, and my mom was like, "Yo, we're gonna try and fight this," and the lawyer's like, "Bro, they got you." So like there was we did it 7 nights in a row, dude, and we got like
you broke into this place 7 nights in a row.
Literally, it was like a.
Were they not open or something?
Nah, no, it was like midnight.
Who lets a place get robbed 7 times in a row?
Pop a
yeah,
little
but they
thing.
didn't like add security
Bam,
or nothing?
M&Ms. They did. They would chain the door every night. Every night we came back and found like a new chain. We're like, tomorrow we're going back for the deep fryer because I wanted a deep fryer in my kitchen because we were going back to my house making burgers. We were like slapping hands like we were like
Kingpins.
It was crazy. We had like our own little Five Guys. Yeah.
You had our own little
You know what I mean? What do you want, chicken or steak? When we went back for the deep fryer, that's when God was like, nuh-uh. And the cops came back and we like were on foot, and then like we got away from the cops. I had a water bottle just like this, and I just chucked it at a random house, and it went through the window, and it was a cop's house.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a crazy summer, dude. 05, and it started to get real bad, and like I remember getting DUIs, and like I got pulled over one time. I'm not glorifying the use of minor morals or chemicals, but I got pulled over and my eyes were red, and it was like 3 a.m. She's like, "Hop out," the lady cop. She's like, "You been drinking?" I'm like, "I drank a beer and smoked a blunt, but I'm good." She's like, "Turn around, loser." You know what I mean?
She handcuffed you right away.
DUI right there. I was 20. You know what I mean? So like,
you thought she'd be like, "Nah,
I thought
it's
she'd
cool."
be like, "Oh, all right, just one blunt." It was middies. You know
Man,
what I mean?
when I was a kid, my boy Tony, rest in peace. I remember he was at a club in Miami. They were searching him before he got in the club, and they found like a bag of coke, and he was like, "Isn't this like Miami?" And they were like, "Nah, bro, put your hands behind your back. You're going to jail."
Exactly. I thought honesty was a good measure, but no. Yeah, I just got arrested a lot, bro. Arrested a whole lot. Like check fraud stuff that like if I didn't have my mom, I would have went to prison for at least like a year.
When did drugs become like the main character in the play?
I found dope in like 08.
You didn't do pills first?
I broke my 5th metacarpal and got a script for Percocet, but I like ate the Percocets and I was like, this is like really good. And like a whole year went by that like
Didn't do them?
Yeah, but then my boy's like, "Yo, we should get some dope," and I was like, I fell in love with it.
How old were you?
21.
Wow. So, you know, you're drinking, smoking, fucking around.
Been to rehab already for alcohol.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be like, "Yo, I'm an alcoholic," and they'd be like, "All right, shut up, wino."
What was first trip in rehab like?
State-funded program in New Jersey called New Hope, and it was just like kind of like a place with people that were coming back from prison, like. It was like a halfway home program. Like, all right, we're going to release you, but you need to go complete 28 days in this state-funded place. It just ran off like taxpayer money. I mean, it served its purpose for me, but I smoked a blunt there. I left.
Yeah. All right. So then
I found dope, dude, and like
snorted the first time?
with my uncle. Yeah, I have yet to shoot up.
Wow. So you did it with your uncle?
Yeah, I used to tell people I shot up because that was like the cool thing.
The cool thing? Yeah.
But like I have yet to shoot up. You know what I mean? If I wasn't shooting Gatorade in my neck, like, I wasn't cool. You know?
Yeah, of course.
I remember being in the cigarette area in
if you don't have Hep C, you're a cop.
like in the cigarette area at the treatment center, everyone's like bumping Lil Wayne like everything's good, you know, like our lives suck, bro. We're in rehab. But yeah, no, I started sniffing it with my uncle. He introduced me to my first dude. It was a phone call away and a drive to a sketchy neighborhood, and you know, put the dope in my ass, and hopefully I don't get pulled over, which I happened several times. And
Wow.
yeah, I had to put it up my ass.
I don't know. Did you get into the habit of doing this?
Yeah, there was a summer I would go into a crack house, right? And she'd be like, "Put that up." The first time I went, because my dude had got knocked off, so I was in and out of crack houses. She's like, "Put that up." I'm like, "What do you mean? On eBay?" She's like, "No, put it in your butt, dummy." And I was like, "Why?" Because you're white and you're in this town. So I remember putting it on my ass one time.
Oh my God.
And then I walk out of the building and the cop's like, "Where you from, bro?" I'm like,
"Bro, you walked out."
I walked out to a cops just like, you know.
And you were like, "Thank God."
I was like, it's in my ass. It was starting to slip too. It was like, you know. I hadn't showered in a few days, dude. And I just remember being like, yeah, this is like the life. Like, content, bro, being a jerk, you know?
So you walked out and they asked you about...
They searched me and found no dope.
Nothing.
Not one bag on me. But like, that was the shit. Like, I remember like
when did you get into crack?
I never smoked crack.
Oh, you were just buying dope in the crack house?
In the crack house, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I remember like when I first started doing dope, this is way before I got dope sick. I remember like I had money. I had this newfound dealer. I was maybe like 2 weeks into using. I was working at this little Greek deli, right? Selling kibase, eating the shit. So I had to like clean it. I remember running out to my car after work. I'm like, yeah. Like saying out loud, heroin. So excited because this newfound thing that made me feel good, dude. Like made me feel complete. That was the beginning when it was fun, because it was fun in the beginning for me. I remember I woke up like with the flu one time. And I was like, yo, this is not right. Maybe I got a bad batch. And I like was sick with the flu for a week. And my dude calls me a week later. He's like, yo, where you been? I'm like, bro, I got sick. That shit that you gave me was bad. He's like, no, you were dope sick, dummy. All you have to do is come back. I was like, fuck.
Wow, you kicked for a whole week.
I kicked for a whole, I fully kicked.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, dude, I fully kicked. I didn't know about like dope sick. I mean, I didn't pay attention in dare class, bro. I don't know, man. I just like, and then I just fell in love with it. It was like a 4-year debacle.
Yeah.
All the way until treatment stays in between. I would come down to Florida, see the palm tree, feel the heat on my face, and be like, oh, life is all right. Let me smoke this Newport and bump Lil Wayne like everything's cool. And like dope feed my mom to come home, you know, and then once I'm home, my comfort zone, it's a wrap. So.
Wow, so you've been to treatment multiple times.
Yeah, like 6.5.
What were those treatment stays like? Like what happened like in your life where it just kept getting like worse and worse? Like what led you to get clean?
What led me to get clean was I had been to treatment like 5 times, 5.5. My mom was like, yo, you're not welcome here anymore, bro. Like, get the fuck out. My friend Andrew, who was going to college in PA near Kutztown, he actually recently just got shot 5 times in Philly and murdered.
Wow.
He was like, yo, Pierce, come on, dude, let's go. So I got in his car, put my bed in his car. He had like one of those big Durangos. Went out and just like kicked on his couch, ended up getting a job because he had like a dorm in this college. And I was just like sleeping on his couch and like I made a little bed. It was like some real shit. I don't know. Some time went by. My mom's like, all right, I don't want you home. So I'm going to pay like $2,300 so you can like pretend you're a college kid and get your own dorm. So that's what she did, bro.
Wow.
I remember like being dope sick one time. It was in a snowstorm. I was looking outside the window and we had robbed so many people and like I had like sold all my subs and like I had a script for subs 2 weeks into that like script. I was dope sick, no money, throwing up green shit. And then I remember looking out the window, seeing the snow fall on this moped, bro. I'll never forget it. And with the Newport, I'm about to hit the white cotton and just crying my eyes out like, yo, I can't fucking do this anymore. So I came back down to Florida and I went to the treatment center again. And 3 weeks went by. I couldn't use the bathroom. I couldn't shit. I couldn't smoke a cigarette without dry heaving.
Yeah.
I was eating. I looked like I was pregnant, dude. Like I had a little pot belly.
You couldn't shit?
I couldn't shit, bro.
Why?
Because I think the subs.
Because you're doing so much subs?
Yeah, I had to go.
Normally, you know, when I'm using, yeah. But then when I'm like getting dope sick, it just all comes out.
This was a thing where like I just couldn't shit. Like I had to put my finger in my ass to get the shit out.
Like they didn't give you like milk of magnesium or some shit?
They did, but it didn't work? It didn't work, dude.
What?
Nah, bro. I had to go up in there and it looked like, it was like bloody. It looked like nuggets, bro. Like red hairs and shit, the blood. But then I say that to say this, like I remember like the pain and the gift of desperation, right? Being like, dude, I'm not going through this again. Like throwing up under this palm tree and like the same texts are like, yo, Gary, it's all right. We know you now. You've been here 3 years in a row. And then as soon as I took that shit, bro, as soon as I smoked that Newport, I was like, damn, it wasn't that bad. Put me in that day treatment program. I got kicked out and dropped off at Middle River, a.k.a. Middle River Youth Correctional.
Yes, sir.
And that's where I met Chicky.
Just so everyone knows, so Middle River is like a well-known sober living, 15 apartments around and 15 above.
Yeah, it was like the mecca for, yo, if you want to stay clean, like this is where you want to live.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of the, you know, strongest sober livings where like, I had Chicky on here and he was like, yeah, bro, if people came in here and they were fucking around, we'd like break into their room and be like, yo, bro, we don't do that shit around here, bro. We work steps to stay clean. Yeah.
I got a funny story. Danny, rest in peace, Danny Keene, he said, yo, anybody is using here, or somebody shows up drunk, one of the people here, $50 to whoever dimes them out. Me and Chicky were fist fighting trying to get to Danny because this one dude came home talking about yachts and he reeked like fucking Lairds.
You guys beat him up?
No, Chicky was trying to get away from the conversation because Danny was down there.
$50 to snitch.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get to Danny before he does. And Danny only paid me $40 too. Fucking bastard.
Pretty fire.
But yeah, man, I remember.
Wow, so he had a snitch thing going, where it's like, yo, if you tell on somebody,
I mean,
that's a pretty good.
We didn't want people using too. We were like,
I say snitch, but like honestly, in recovery, it's like if someone shit in your fucking bed.
Yeah,
like,
plus there was money on it.
Yeah, for sure. But at the end of the day, it's like, bro, when I'm using, I'll be pretty grimy to get what I want. It's like, dude, if I want to stay clean, I remember in treatment this one time, this kid pulled out pills like in the middle of a group. He's like, yo, look what I got. He was like some clown ass 2 Xanax.
Yeah.
And I popped it out of his hand and they like went flying. I'm like, this kid has pills on him right now. I didn't care. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have this mentality of like, oh, well, I don't want to cause a scene. It's like, dude, like when I was getting clean, like I didn't want that shit around me either.
I got to back up a little bit, tell the story of this, because this is like intricate and like how I stayed clean. When I was going to meetings in the rehab, I would go to the 12-step house. Chickie's up there doing the key tag, or he had some service commitment there, and I was like, yo, this kid's cool. He's from New York, right? My area, kind of, and like he seems cool, and he's talking about staying clean. So I like went up to him one day, and I'm chopping with him, and I remembered when they dropped me off the halfway house, I had to sleep on the couch the first night because my bed wasn't available. So I woke up, there's this other kid there. He's like, yo, you know who lives here? You probably know him, Mario. So when I finally seen Mario come in the door, I was like, yo, remember me from the 12-step house? I still had this like plan of like, man, I don't want to be clean. I want to smoke blunts, dude. Like I want to smoke weed and chill out. And like, man, I've learned my lesson, man. Let me just like be a normal person. I don't want to like be sick and like, you know.
Go to these meetings
like,
forever and like have us bonds. It just seems like so much shit.
I remember like getting to know Chickie and like we were hitting meetings and he's like, hey man, you want to be of service? Threw me the key tags. I was like, yo, I'm not ready for this. I remember it was like my second week in Middle River. I did the key tags and like I remember people were in treatment with me. They're like, yo, you actually did that. That's crazy. And I just started getting involved and like hanging out with him. I'm like, yo, this kid's cool. He's talking about staying clean. Like, so Chickie was a huge part of my
he was like that clean. Day one he got clean. He was just super positive.
Super grateful. Dude, I lived in Middle River 2 years, bro. Skate sessions at night. The house meeting was funny as shit. There's a lot of characters in Middle River, bro.
Tell me about those. Well, tell me about those first couple months.
The first couple months, I had Monday Night Live, 12-Step House was my home group. Go there religiously. I was hitting meetings like every day. I was working at Taco Bell, telling people to have a case of... Like,
I think I remember you working at Taco Bell.
Yeah,
so
Danny's
crazy,
like, you got to
bro.
get a job, bro, or you got to go. I went down to Taco Bell. I was like, dude... Can you hire me? Like, 'cause I need a job. And I got paid like $213 every 2 weeks, bro. I was telling people like quesadilla later, Baja Blast Ignite. You know what I mean? Like, you had to be like real, like a cheerleader with it. Because like corporate could come through. And like, I remember like I did a real good job one day and like the CEO slipped a $10 Target in my pocket. He's like,
really? But
I worked there for a year. I celebrated a year clean working at Taco Bell.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool. Me and my boy Dave Mariano worked there with me.
Yeah, I think I remember that. That's crazy.
Yeah, we were walking down the street, dude. I had like these big non-slip shoes. I looked like Posh Spice walking down the street, bro. It's embarrassing.
What kept you clean that first year?
I don't know. I remember at 6 months clean, I wanted to move to Colorado because my boy
People always have like this crazy thing. Like, don't you see it all the time where someone gets clean? They're like, I want to go to Colombia or I want to fucking travel the world. Or, and you're just like, no, dude, just go slow, stay clean. Like, they're all gun-ho. And after a couple months, like they have like some extravagant plan.
So I had this opportunity to go work at this hotel in Colorado. I could trim weed on the side.
There you go.
You know what I mean? I was like, damn, I filled out the application. Mario was like, bro, what are you doing now? We squashed that. But it was the first couple months were like, I don't know, man. I remember getting that blue key tag and then it turned yellow. And I was like, dude, I almost have a year clean. Like that year that I told the treatment center I would get. I got the year, bro, and I didn't get high. You know what I mean? And then the running joke was like, all right, I'm going to get 2, 3. I'm going to get high. And now, like, the last joke was I'm going to get 10 and get high, but I think I'm going to stay clean.
Yeah.
Obviously. Just for today.
Just for today. How many people out of that treatment center are still clean today?
I don't know, dude. Nobody that I was there with that I can remember.
Crazy.
When I got clean, you had Adam Taco at 18 months. So he was out here. Like Dean didn't go to treatment with me. Like Hanson was in there with me, but he's doing good, I think. I mean, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it's just because it's like you don't think that the kid who's letting the air out of the tire of the van is like gonna stay clean.
I remember like 3 years.
Just goes to show like you really never know who's gonna like dive in and who's not, because sometimes like the like number one straight A student in treatment like is the first motherfucker to get high. You know?
I've been complacent though, like on and off. So it's like I need to make a recommit back into the program. Yeah. But I remember with 3 years clean, my mom, when I would go visit, she would still take her pocketbook to the bathroom.
Really?
Yeah. And I think I had like 6 years clean, then I got a key to the crib.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I did a lot of damage with that. Like a lot of money was stolen.
You know, like when I first got clean and my parents would like feel like I was going to rob them or ask me for the receipt for something or look at me and wonder if I was how I would get so defensive. And now I look back and I'm like, wow, imagine how much pain I must have caused for years, because it's not like they don't want you to believe you. Like this is, she doesn't want to bring her pocketbook to the bathroom. She feels compelled to, you know what I mean? Like she's got into the habit of doing that. So it's like that's all the damage over the years that have built that kind of behavior. A lot of that is fear and trauma that we do to our family.
Bro, I remember finding the receipts after my mom went grocery shopping and taking the Kellogg's back, taking the cold cuts back, bro.
You would return the fucking
I would
cold
return
cuts?
like $200 worth of food.
What would your mom say?
I think she's like, where's the food? I'm like, yo, I was hungry last night. You know what I mean? And it's just sick, bro. Like I bought her a TV one year. Remember when the box TVs were popular, but it kind of looked like a flat screen?
Yeah, it said flat screen, but it was huge.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah, it had like a big ass.
Yeah.
So I remember like I bought this for her birthday, and this is like insidious, bro. And then like 2 weeks later, I got my boy Richie and I were carrying that shit out to his truck to take the cash converters. Like, like some sick shit that like just by staying clean, like that's the only way I can repay it.
So what happened after that job at Taco Bell? Like, what was going on with Gary?
I mean, I got the year clean at Taco Bell. I still didn't have a license because I had a DUI. I had 2 DUIs. I refused to blow in the breathalyzer because my mom's like, you can never incriminate yourself. So I'm like, all right. So they're like, blow in this breathalyzer. I'm like, no.
Oh, you refused to blow when you got the DUIs?
Yeah, so they gave me an extra year for that. And then once
Is that like real? Like I always wondered because I was told the same thing. It's like, should you blow? Should you not blow?
I really don't know, but I lost my license for 3 years. So 4 years went by and here I was like with a year clean. So I had a year that I was eligible to get my license.
You never got it?
I never got it up until the point where I went home. I think I had 13 months. And my dad, who never gave me a 20, like on my dope sickest day, was like, hey, man, you doing good? All right, man, here's a car. He gave me a Jetta. I'm like, cool, I have a Jetta. I had to get a breathalyzer in it. So I took it to the local audio, like where they tint your windows and put a stereo, and they do it there. So like I would blow in the shit every 15 minutes, like to keep it going. So I had that for 6 months. And so
wow, you got to blow in it every 15 minutes?
So here's the thing. I drove that car to Florida. Yeah. So it like gauges how long you're driving at a certain speed. So if you're driving around a neighborhood at 25 miles an hour for 3 hours, every 15 minutes. But if you're doing like 80 on a highway, it's going to be like every 45 minutes. And like, it beeps loud. Sometimes you couldn't hear it. I had to turn down the Katy Perry because I saw it like, you know, if you got the music.
Katy Perry was
I love Katy Perry, dude. Yeah. She's got a good voice, good vibes. But
that's since you've been gone.
Yeah. That's Kelly Clarkson.
That's Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah. Sorry. Yo, you know who I like?
Who's
Kesha.
Katy Perry? Fireworks?
Yeah, Firework.
Kesha?
Yeah. Kesha, Praying. Great song. You should download it.
I'll check it out.
Download it. I'm Napster. Nah, man, I had this breathalyzer for 6 months. I remember like being the junkie that my mom was like, you're going to die a junkie. And then like Chris and a couple people that worked at the TRP where I went were like, bro, if you get some clean time, we'll hire you. Because they were opening up this other place. Yeah. I got the text, you're hired, homie, as a tech.
That's cool.
I'm like, damn, dude.
You didn't get fired as a tech?
I never got fired as a tech.
You're a good tech?
I was a great tech.
All right,
the best tech there was.
Wow.
Yeah, me and Tom Brophy.
Brophy.
Brophy's a good kid.
Did he train you or you trained him? Or you guys started together?
He was a tech. He trained me. He was my lead tech. Wow. Yeah, he was like a drill sergeant with it, though. He didn't play games, dude. He was a good tech. Yeah. But I was a tech for 18 months.
Yeah, I was a tech for like a year. Yeah. And it was like, man, I feel like if you work in treatment and you've never been a tech, like, it's like different, bro. It's like a different level of like, I don't know, because there's some people that just get in at like a call center level, and it's like, you really got to work as a tech.
You do.
To like really see how shit affects the whole fucking thing. Yeah. Because it's like, bro, when you're over there just like taking admissions, you don't understand like how fucking shit works because it seems so easy up there to be like, well, I don't see why this is a problem. Just let the kid fucking do this or that. Or like, why didn't you call the family? Like, it's really difficult, man, being a tech and dealing with fucking 45 clients that don't want to be there. And you have no authority. Like, you can't do anything really other than like just gain their respect with your personality. Build rapport is like the only thing. But like, you have nothing to really be like. I remember something I used to make up shit. I used to be like, bro, taking away your points. They'd be like, what the fuck? I'm like, bro, I'm taking away 5 points. The kid like, fuck. And then he'd go on the van and he'd be like all bitching. The kid's like, what's up? Like, oh, bro, Brian took away 5 points from me. And they'd be like, there's no points. I would just like,
I was about to say, like, what are the points?
I would just start a point system. I would see how long I could keep it going. You know?
Yeah. That's fire.
Yeah, I would tell the clients my drug of choice was like weed. I was pretty good with it, but there were some techs that just got fucking roasted nonstop 24/7. They just couldn't do it.
I remember like being kind of like a serious guy and then sprinkling in the humor.
Yeah, because you have to do that to gain the rapport.
You can't be like this goofball and then be like, hey, mop your floor. They'd be like,
yeah, you have to be really strict
Yeah.
And then when you crack a smile, they like see your weakness or whatever for a little bit, and then you go back to being serious. But like, yeah, you have to let them know that like this shit's not a game, because it's like, dude, when we got to get on the vans at 9 o'clock, like we got to get on the vans at 9 o'clock. And then you got to like know who's going to be an issue like at fucking 8:35 and who's not going to be fucking ready. And like, it's a lot of fucking, it's a lot of work.
I remember like we had a community at one point. Like I was just like, I don't know, every client knew I love Nick Cage, right? We were chopping. Like,
you do love Nick Cage.
I do.
Why?
I have an Instagram dedicated to Nick Cage.
I don't know if it was funny or for real.
Dude.
Do you really like him?
I like Nick Cage.
You think he's the best actor? Or you just love him?
Publicly, I'll say that I think he's the best actor.
Really?
Yeah.
You're willing to say that? It's recording.
Yeah.
You think he's the best actor?
I think he's like hated on like Nickelback. Like everybody hates on Nickelback.
Because it's fun to hate on
But
them.
like if they're feeling emotional, they're putting that shit on and crying.
Which one? Picture? What's it called? Photograph?
Photograph, bro. Oh, I got a story for that. My mom was kicking me out one time, right? She's like, get out, junkie. So I moved to South
Your mom really called you that?
Yeah. I'm like, I got nowhere to go. She's like, why don't you drive to Richie's in South Carolina? So my boy Richie moved from Spring Lake to South Carolina. I was like, all right, let me call him on my Nokia. So I dialed him on my Nokia. And I was like, yo, Richie, can I come to your house? He's like, yeah, man, you can come down here and my dad will give you work. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, Mom, I need some money. She gave me like a couple $100 for gas and shit. I went to my dealer. I was like, yo, I need a bunch of dope. And I was like, I got no dope. I got Coke, though. So I'm like, all right, give me the Coke, because I had subs. And I bought like, I don't know, 5 grams of Coke or some shit. I go back to my house. My mom's at the dinner. I chop up all this Coke, so because when I'm driving, I just want to like be able to sniff it.
Yeah.
And like, I had this like extra, I weighed like 130 pounds.
You're doing key bumps, you're doing a straw.
I'm doing lines, thick lines. So
while driving?
While driving.
On a CD case?
On a Scarface CD case.
My man.
Swear to God on my life.
I believe you, I believe you.
Extra large Corona t-shirt, like a bottle. Not COVID-19. And I remember I had this iPod mini.
Okay.
Anyway, bro, there was Led Zeppelin or Nickelback on. I was like, man, this is really tight. Putting me in a corner here. So I go to the Nickelback, bro, and for 9 hours, I listened to Photograph on repeat, doing cocaine.
You can't change it, right?
It was so euphoric. And then I remember running out of cocaine, and it was so horrific. And I just pulled over and started convulsing, and like, I called my friend. I was like, yo, what should I do? He's like, just take a sub. I had forgot that I had a dope habit. So I took a sub. 20 minutes later, I'm back on the road in these back country roads in North Carolina.
Listen to Photograph?
Nah, dude, no more Photograph. I had the AM radio on. I was trying to calm down, but it was like, it never happened. Like, I never just blew coke for 9 hours.
You felt totally fine?
I felt totally fine after that sub hit me.
Really?
Yeah, it was gross. Back to being a tech real quick, because this one's funny. We were leaving the clinical building for like a night meeting.
Just so people know, like a tech, so in treatment, you have like a clinical director, you have therapists, and then you have behavioral health technicians in Florida is what they call them. Basically, these people like do the urine screens, they transport clients back and forth, they do rounds, check where everyone's at. They usually have like a clipboard. And they usually just like herd clients in and out of group, take them to the doctor, take them to the housing, bring them back and forth. I think the worst part for me about being a tech was like seeing a client be all like sweet and cute to like the fucking therapist, and then just be like a total terror at the housing and just tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah. It was crazy, man.
Or kids like 90 pounds telling me they're going to fight me.
Yeah. But like we were leaving the building this one night, and like there was a van in front of me, and I was driving the van in the rear. And like one of the clients hops out of the van in front of me. I'm like, damn, dude, we got a runner. So he
at a red light?
No, we were still in like the building parking lot.
Okay.
So he like closes the door and walks up to my van, and like he opens the van. He goes, I don't normally ride white vans, but when I do, it's Con Air, and shuts the door behind him, bro. But I liked being a tech, man. I did.
I did too.
It was like front lines for me.
Yeah, because dude, there's times where there was be kids crying on the edge of their beds, feeling like using.
Yeah.
Man, like I didn't have a fucking master's degree, and I would talk to a kid and just try to convince him not to use, and he'd be crying saying he wants to kill himself. And like this kid, this really happened, still messages me sometimes on Facebook and is like, yo, bro, like, thank you. You know, so it's like you really, sometimes at jobs, you feel like not making an impact. As a tech, like I really felt like I was making an impact, and I was getting like the lowest pay. And it just felt good to like be at the bottom of the totem pole at a treatment center, but to also have one of the biggest impacts, because even till today as a treatment center owner, like I always say, like your techs know more about what's going on with the clients than anyone else.
Absolutely.
And it's the hardest job position to fill, because you're really looking for like a certain type of person with like a certain personality that can reach these people without like some type of credentials or anything, you know, just like.
Yeah, you don't want to overqualify.
Yeah.
But I remember just like fresh in NA, just hitting them with like, shit I would hear in the sunrise room at the midnight and just like be like, damn, their mind was blown, you know? I didn't know clinical. I didn't know any of that stuff. I'm board certified addiction counselor now. But
now? Oh, that's
but
cool.
I'm not in that side
You don't
of
use it.
Yeah, I don't use it. It's a CAC in Florida. You know how that is. It's like having like a driver's license. You can't drive a tractor trailer. You can just drive it like a Fiat.
Yeah, but you could run groups and sign off on notes and stuff. I know for me, like being a tech was cool because like there was also like that camaraderie that you see when you see like a really good community and like, you know, we take them bowling or whatever. We come back to the house and order pizza. And there was times like you'd be playing Mario Kart with the clients, you know, for 5 minutes. They'd be like begging you to play with them or something. You play for like 2 seconds and you put it down or whatever. And like, it just felt fun. Like there was times where I had so much fun at work where I would stay after my shift. Yeah. You know, like I'd be like, you know, we're just having fun, chilling over here. They had like all the music going or whatever. And, you know,
dude.
Sometimes it would be really tough though.
Yeah. Sometimes when you had like a tough community, it's like, I don't know, or some clients that just don't respect anybody. Yeah. You know, and like you're expected to keep, I don't know, like the place clean and like, you know, it's just a lot of pressure at that level. But there was easy days and bad days. Yeah. But I got moved up to admissions after that. And I remember having like, I don't know, maybe 3 years clean, 3.5. And I was like, you know, working in the building now with like a polo from Ross. I was like, damn, dude, no more Vans t-shirts and backwards hats. You know, I remember feeling like good and I was just grateful. I was like working for the people that used to get me into treatment at my worst, you know? So shout out to Lisa. Yeah. So it was just, I don't know.
So what else has been going on since you've been clean?
I mean, a lot, bro. Ups and downs, but I mean, I got my pilot's license 3 years ago. Okay. Yeah, so I've been flying single engine piston planes.
What made you want to get into flying?
I had a fear of flying.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how it happened. Never had a problem with it. Maybe I had like 5 years clean. I was like, damn, what if both these engines quit, like on a Spirit Airbus? And
is that dangerous?
What?
Of a commercial plane?
Is it dangerous in general?
I always wonder like what the statistics are. Like, because I know on like a small jet, like the engines can fail and they could land or glide for like miles. Yeah. And it's really not that. Nah. Really, it's takeoff and landing and
those
weather.
Are critical phases of flight. Like you have a fixed wing aircraft, right? So if the engines quit, it just turns into a glider. You just need to establish a best rate of glide.
Like a commercial airplane. That can happen with a commercial airplane. Yeah. They're too heavy.
I mean, like they have two $9 million engines. So they have $18 million worth of engines. So, I mean, they're pretty...
They're not going down?
I don't
think
so.
That doesn't happen?
I talked to a pilot at the airport the other day. I'm like, have you ever had one roll back on you? Because those are the terms.
Roll back means fail?
Like roll back, yeah. Like the engine gauge roll back. And he had to shut it down. And he was like, yeah, one time we had to make an emergency landing and none of the passengers even knew. Because it's like pretty uneventful in a big plane like that. But when you're flying like a single engine plane, it's a little bit more quick. You need to act quick. I was scared of flying and I developed this fear of like, oh my God, like what if? And I remember like Christini gave me his like flight simulator stuff because like he was in a plane crash.
Oh yeah.
And he was working on it. I don't know. He was just using it.
I didn't know he had a flight simulator.
Yeah, he had like the yoke and the throttle quadrant and all that. And he gave it to me because, you know, I was like turned into an aviation nerd based on how fearful I was.
So you got scared of flying and then you started to get interested in aviation?
Yeah, I started to be intrigued and like I wanted to learn about aerodynamics and like do planes really fall out of the sky and like all
this.
Do they? No, unless a wing falls off.
How rare is it that like a commercial plane crashes?
Very rare. I mean, like you'd hear about it on Fox News. I don't watch the news, but
I don't watch the news either. But I always wondered if like they were like, well, if a plane crashed, don't tell anybody, or like they were like trying not to do that.
That's hot topic, bro. You're gonna hear about that off rip. It's gonna be a meme. It's gonna be something. You know, like the Boeing 737 Max in like Indonesia that crashed. That was like an avionics problem where it just nosed over. The plane thought it was gonna like stall, so like it pitched the nose over to prevent a stall, and it just went into the ground. Wow. Like a bunch of people died, but it's very rare.
Yeah, but they say it's way more likely to die in a car accident.
Oh, 100%. I just went flying today. I was like, you know what? I got real into this like flight simulation thing, and I started to like learn stuff and like watch YouTube videos.
I have like 12 hours.
Do you?
Yeah.
You told me that.
When I went to military school, in 9th grade. And I remember like it was aviation military school, co-ed military school, whatever. I knew that my dad had signed me up for the flight thing, but I was like in line to go. And then they like tell you in advance. Well, I was doing coke all night and this is like 9th grade and I hadn't slept and I had oxys on me too, oxy 80s. So normally I would like do coke and then do the 80s after.
That's
landing gear. That's the landing gear. People know. Well, honestly, bro, I stay so up on oxy. Like, I don't go to sleep on oxy.
Me too, bro. I'm cleaning.
I'm cleaning. I'm talking. I'm so annoying. Yeah. I'm like the worst, bro.
Me too.
And I know I'm being annoying. I just can't turn it off.
Yeah, I know, bro. It's crazy.
It's just like scratching, and I think you grow out of that. Does that happen?
You grow out of the nod, and then you start like eating a lot of like cereal and ice cream.
Yeah, I would crave weird stuff. I would have ketchup sandwiches. How would it go?
Bro, I would stay up all night until like the 6 a.m. runners with the tight leggings show up and the birds. And I'd be like, damn, look at that normal person. That shit sucks.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, loser.
Yeah.
So they called my name in the morning, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, they're supposed to let me know. So they were like, yo, someone canceled. We're putting you in. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I remember, like, I put, like, my flight jacket on. I was going to the airport, and they were, like, transporting me in, like, this van. There's a couple kids. I'm in the back. I have a dollar bill. I'm breaking 80s with my hands, which is kind of difficult, but they're already, like, peeled off. And I'm crushing them up in the back of the thing, and I'm fucking all geeked out, haven't slept. And I'm cutting up lines in the dollar bill and snorting them out of the dollar bill. And then we get there, and the guy gives me, like, a flight book, and he gives me, like, this little bag with, like, the engine oil shit. Yeah. And, like, a flight, like, a fucking pencil and
fuel
shit.
Sump.
Whatever. Yeah, bro. And I'm fucking walking around the plane, and the guy's, like, showing me everything. So he shows me how to, like, check the fuel. And I look at it for, like, debris. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. So we check all the oil. We get in the plane. He takes the little tire things off. We're sitting in there. He turns it on. I remember he, like, pulls back the throttle. He tells me, like, let go. Like, he shows me how to, like, use my feet.
Yeah, rudders.
And we start fucking driving. And then he, like, pulls it back some more. And he's like, all right, now push back. And I'm like, holy shit. And, like, we start flying.
Yeah. I'm
like, dude, when you drive a car, you're in a classroom for like 4 days. You know what I mean? So I didn't think that we were going to fly that day.
Right.
I couldn't, like, I thought like you would at least be in a classroom. I thought like you would never even see a fucking plane up until like your second month or something. Because
you're with an instructor, you can't like fuck up anything that he can't undo.
Yeah, I just thought you'd be in a classroom for a while. Yeah. I just didn't think that you'd be like flying the same day, first day you go. And dude, I remember we were flying, he was showing me shit. And then I started nodding. And I remember I was nodding out. And he was like, yo, wake up, dude, wake up. And I was like, oh, sorry. And I remember when we were landing, I think we touched and go a couple times. And, and then I remember when we were landing, he was like letting me land. And I started nodding out. And this guy yelled at me like I was a little kid. He's like, don't fuck around on the fucking runway. And I was like,
who?
The instructor? Yeah. Because I guess I just started nodding out. And he like apologized. But bro, he got really mad at me because he thought I was fucking around. But I was just nodding.
Yeah,
but,
dude. That's crazy.
I could fly.
That's dope. We got to go.
I'm down.
We got to go. We'll film it too.
So, all right. How long you been doing this for?
Like 2018. So was it almost 4 years now?
So you're a pilot. You did your solo?
Oh, yeah, dude. I got 250 hours. I have
How
my
many
certificate.
hours? You need 36? How much is it?
40 in the,
to
in
do
the
your solo?
States. No, not to do your solo. So you need 40 hours of total time to apply to be an applicant for the private pilot certificate. I believe 20.
And a solo.
Some people solo at like 10 hours, dude. I soloed at 36 hours.
You solo at 36 hours?
Yeah, it's different for everybody.
So how far is the distance? Like when you solo, what does that mean?
Your first solo is typically a couple laps in the pattern. 3 laps in the pattern to a full stop. So my first solo, I flew for an hour actually because my instructor hopped out of my plane and hopped into another plane to instruct another student. And he was basically just in the pattern behind me the whole time. And he would like key up the mic like 2247 kilo, you can fly for another 30 minutes. I'm like, cool. So I was just doing laps in the pattern. But like there's different solos that you have to do. You have to do a cross country, a long cross country by yourself, bro.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, so I remember they told us that you have to do a cross country by yourself. How far is that?
A couple of them. 50 miles. Cross country in aviation, general aviation, is 50 nautical miles in a straight line from one point to another.
So you have to do 50 miles a couple of times?
Yeah, I had to do...
Before you get your pilot's license?
To be a private pilot. To apply for the practical exam, which is an FAA guy goes up with you. So I had to do a 50-mile twice, and then I had to do a long cross-country, which includes stopping, full stop, at 2 different airports, and one of the legs needs to be like 100 nautical miles in a straight line. So I went from FXE, Fort Lauderdale Executive, to like this airport in the middle of the Everglades. And then I went to like Stewart, Florida, north central Florida, and then I went back to FXE.
What made you want to do this? You just got interested?
I just was so intrigued. I actually took like my first intro flight, and I remember I took Mario, and like he's filming it. There's footage of this, and like I'm sweating like a sieve, bro, because I'm nervous. And like I'm like, damn, this is crazy, bro. I'm in a small plane. It was just so surreal, and like I landed and we survived. And I was like, damn, I can't believe we just did that. Like that was epic. And like I remember I just got hooked, bro.
Wow.
You know, I remember I called, I applied for a credit card. I got a $10,000 limit, and I just spent it all on flight training.
Really?
Yeah.
How much does it cost to like get your 30 or 40 hours and do your solos?
I remember I paid like $17K at the end of the day to get my license from start to finish.
How long
But I
did it take you?
overpaid because I procrastinated. Because after a certain amount of hours, they'll give you solo endorsements. Like, all right, Gary, you want to go fly? Here, you have a 90-day solo endorsement. So I would just rent the plane, go after work, just fly around, hit the beach, buzz the beach, just burn money. And like just not, because I still had more like stuff to do. I had to like go under the foggles and do the instrument for 3 hours. I like stopped the training portion. And then my instructor's like, yo, bro, you going to get your license anytime soon? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You're just having fun.
Yeah, I was just having fun. The FAA guy went up with me, and he's like, congratulations, this guy's a private pilot. And he like saluted me and walked away. And like I had to fly to another airport to meet the guy. So I remember like hopping in the plane as a like certified, like certificated private pilot, and thinking like, holy shit, like I'm legit. And I remember flying back to FXE from North Perry, landing the plane. I told Tower, I'm like, I just passed my check ride. And congrats. Like there was a Learjet 5 mile final. He's like, congrats. It was cool, man.
What's the hardest part about flying?
The hardest part is weather.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because so my boy has a jet. He's a jet pilot.
Yeah, the Eclipse.
Yeah, he has an
I
Eclipse.
follow him on the ground.
Yeah. He's like, bro, like I've flown with him, and he's just like, you know, I'm super safe, da da da. But I feel like he takes risks, and it's like weather is up into interpretation, right?
Yeah, weather is a phenomenon that's
so it's
dangerous. Can be dangerous.
Because it's like, who's to say it's up to you to decide if you're flying or not. Right?
Correct.
So I know like my boy takes mad risks, and like he drives really fast. I've seen him do like crazy ass shit. He's an adrenaline junkie.
Right.
So like he says like he doesn't fuck around with flying, but I'm always like, well, he's just someone who I would think would be like, nah, it's straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
like I'm just scared that like he might be like he's really good at like time crunching. So like whenever he does something, it's always on a time crunch.
Yeah, there's
so
no
I'm always
rushing.
like,
there's no rushing in aviation.
Yes, and like, you know, I know he's a good pilot, and you know, he obviously is if he's a jet pilot.
I see his videos, dude. He's got cool videos.
So it's like part of me is like scared that like, you know, it's up to a human interpretation if they're gonna fly or not.
Yeah, man, you're the pilot in command. You're responsible for the safety of the flight. So like, I remember like I was weathered out because the check ride is like it's 2 parts. Like there's an oral exam, like kind of like what we're doing. Like he's just quizzing you and like asking questions he already knows the answers to, right? There's that's the oral. Then there's the practical you get in the airplane. I remember doing the oral. This is the first time I was like, damn, I'm going to be a pilot today. And it like took 3 hours, and we walk outside and like, bam, overcast, like 1800 and like rain coming. And he looks up in the sky. He's like, what do you think, pilot in command? We're going to go flying today? I was like, damn, dude, if I say, yeah, let's go flying, then I'm a liability. Because then like I'm putting people's lives in danger. I'm like, nah, I think reschedule for another day. He's like, that's a wise choice, because like there was a fucking tornado around the corner.
But other people might be flying that day.
Other people might be fine. Like there's accident dockets filled with situations like that. Like people like scud running, like flying too close to weather, and then like, I mean, you could jeopardize the structural integrity of the aircraft if you're flying in like a cloud that's got like a lot of energy, like a thunderstorm. You don't want to fly near thunderstorms, let alone in like a thunderstorm cloud, and a wing could pop off. You know, so weather is the hardest part.
You ever felt like being jet certified?
Yeah, dude. That's like a thing that I've been like kicking around lately. Like I want to just grind out.
How much harder in time is it? How many
it's
hours
just like
you need to be like a jet
It's just like
pilot?
$100,000 from now type of thing, and time.
It's money.
Yeah, it's time and money.
Wow.
I mean, it's like
how much? It costs $100,000 to be a jet pilot?
Well, I mean, think about it. You got ratings to go. Like I'm a private pilot, right? I could fly anywhere in the world as long as I stay out of clouds, day or night, doesn't matter. If I get my instrument rating, I can then fly to like waypoints, and that like kind of gives you a little bit more freedom. Like you could fly like, let's say there's a thin cirrus layer at 1,000. Normally, like, hey, you really can't fly through clouds VFR, but if you file IFR with an instrument rating, you can fly right through the clouds, get on top, and get to your destination. That's like another $5,000. That's what happened with
Kobe, right?
Yeah, they were in IMC, instrument meteorological conditions, and flew into a mountain.
How does that happen?
You can't see outside, and I guess the dude got it.
He must have done this flight like 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, they were in and out. They were in like marginal VFR conditions. VFR stands for visual flight rules. Like you have to have reference to the ground, so you're not spatially disoriented. And I mean, I wasn't there, but like everything I read and all the videos I see on YouTube, like he got spatially disoriented and like put it right into a mountain.
Wow.
At like 130 knots. Yeah.
You ever thought about doing helicopters? Because my boy's training to do that right now too.
I mean, helicopters are sick. They're not for me. I like the fixed wing. I like to, I don't know. I got a drone. You know, that's like
same thing.
That's the most helicopter-ish I'll get. But like, I started filming flights, and like, I got a YouTube channel, Grumman Greaser. Shout out Grumman Greaser. Just videoing my flights so I can like watch them later, and like just trying to be like a better and more proficient, safer pilot by the day. I went flying today. You know, took my friend and his girl.
And you rent a plane?
Yeah, I rent like a couple of planes.
Every time you go? Or you have different
I've been flying this like one plane for consistently.
But you rent it every time you go? Or it's like you have to pay it monthly?
No, I rent it. I pay by the hour.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 110 an hour.
Gotcha.
And then you pay for fuel.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, dude, it's a freedom, dude. It's probably my greatest accomplishment.
That's dope.
To go back to your question, being clean. That was probably my greatest accomplishment, besides staying clean and getting my mom's respect back.
What's up with you and your mom now?
We've had our ups and downs, but right now we're good. Yeah, we're good, man. She's we FaceTime. She figured that out, so she FaceTimes me, and like she can't figure out how to hang up though. You know what I mean? She'll be like, "All right, honey, bye bye," and then she'll like take a live photo. You know, I'm like, "Yo, it's the red X, yo." Oh man, but she's retired, bro. She's bored. She's 38 years as a like PO.
Wow,
parole
PO
officer.
38 years. Wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
let me ask you. I try to ask everyone this because I like hearing people's feedback. Why do you think some people stay clean and some people don't?
I mean, dude, I don't know. I mean, I'll say this to answer it. Like, I'll be at like a Thanksgiving dinner. I'll be looking across the way, and like I'll see my uncle with like a Bex, and it looks frosty.
Wow.
And I'll be like, damn, imagine a Bex and a blunt. But I'll like play the tape through. I'm like, dude, I'm a junkie, bro. Weed's boring. Alcohol sucks. I'll be like, all right. Nah, but like I don't know, man. Like I went to treatment, like I did all these things, and
for
like,
me, it's the free crack pipes right now,
bro. Joey, we got the pipes. We need the crack, dude.
That was so funny. By the way, on your TikTok, that was so funny.
Yeah, bro. I don't know, man. Like some people just maybe they're not ready. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Just for today, like I want to stay clean more. I want to get high though.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to use, bro. It would be cool to like nod out with no consequences. You know what I mean? Like I got a couple bucks in the bank now. Like I can afford.
Sometimes I feel like when you've been clean for so long and like you use, it might not even feel good because it's like such a drastic thing. Because when you're using, it's like a slow progression to get to that point. Yeah. So I feel like now it'd be like being cold and then jumping into like a super hot bathtub. It would be like too much, you know? Like. Yeah. But I mean, people relapse all the time, and they don't like slip into it though. You know, it's like a slow thing.
I mean, dude, for me, I know I like put down the step work for a while. Like, I need to get back in. I'm coming back to South Florida. Been living in Melbourne. That was like a whole mess.
Oh, you were living there? That's why I went to military school.
Melbourne?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you flew at the airport there?
Yeah, I flew there.
That's the airport you're talking about?
How crazy is that?
Bro,
yeah.
I took my boy's plane up there for a while, and I had
bro, there was people in military school that had a pilot's license but didn't have a driver's license.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, because you could solo at 16, but you can't drive until 17 or something.
Yeah, I think you could solo at 15, and you can't drive a car till 16.
Yeah, that's the hit.
Yeah.
That's the hit.
So it was pretty funny that there was people there that could fly planes, but they can't drive a car.
That is insane, dude. Yeah, but I'm coming back, bro. I'm diving. I talked to Griggy. Like, I'm going to be going to his house, hanging out.
Nice.
Like, I'm trying to get a place around here, so it's going to be good.
Wow, so you're not living here now?
Nah, I'm living up in Melbourne.
You didn't drive all the way here, did you?
I drove here because...
did you happen to be here? You didn't drive here for the podcast?
No. Like, this morning I came down here, took my boy and his girl flying.
Okay, cool.
And then went to dinner with Chicky.
Yeah, but we should go to the gun range and then go to the fucking... We could shoot guns out the window, right? Of the plane?
Nah, bro. Nah, like, we went to a Thai meal around the way in Sunrise. I offered Chicky $50,000 to eat a piece of chicken. He won't give up his V date.
Really?
Yeah, he's vegan as hell right now.
Super vegan, huh?
Yeah, he's been vegan for like 3 years. Shout out Chicky.
Yeah, shout out Chicky. Yeah, his podcast was fire.
Yeah, dude. I only listen. I want the video version though.
I don't think we were doing video then.
You weren't, bro. You got to bring him back.
I know, I should. He's the man, bro.
Yeah.
I was thinking about having like a whole Middle River entourage up here. What was Rob Harry like?
Went back then. He was crazy, bro.
Bro, he was off. Let me tell you something. When I saw that he bought a house, I was like,
dude,
wow.
He's doing big things right now.
He's the fucking man, bro.
He is the man.
He was off the fucking chain, bro.
Yeah.
I remember just seeing him at meetings and he was clean and just like, his whole demeanor of like, fuck this whole shit was like,
Yeah.
most people can hold it together
Yeah, dude.
at a meeting, you know?
Yeah.
He was just like, nah, fuck that. That's fucking whack.
Oh, he didn't give a shit. He's got a garden now, dude. He's a gardener, bro.
What?
He's got tomatoes in his backyard. He
Really?
can't even walk. He might hit a squash.
Oh my
It's
God.
like it's overcrowded back there.
Yeah, he was the bath salt bandit.
Bath salt. He pulled a cop over one time on bath salt.
What?
Dude, this is what he told me. He pulled a cop. He was like beeping like a clown. Dun, 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 dun. And a cop pulled over. Cop comes up like, "Sir, can I help you?" And he's like, "There's Charlie everywhere. Duck." And he's like, the cop leans in his window and goes, "Sir, are you smoking crack?" And like Rob Harry's like, he cleaned up real quick. He's like, "Nah, man, I'm just off my meds."
Wow.
He's like, "Get the fuck out of here." I love Rob Harry, dude.
Yeah,
One of my best friends.
I'd love to have him on the show.
Yeah, he'd be a good one.
Man, yeah, I just love seeing people get clean. It's like my favorite thing to just see people go like from like shooting heroin to vegan.
Yeah, how does that happen, dude?
No, I just interviewed my boy, and he was like the worst heroin addict. He used to like post all these videos on social media, and he became vegan. And then he was like going to slaughterhouses and protesting. It's like,
Dude, I thought I'd never stay clean.
yeah,
I didn't stay clean a day out of treatment, dude. As soon as I got home, every time I would have weed in my mouth. And like the cunning part of it was like, my mom's like, "You better keep it just to weed," right? So I was like riding the pigtails on that. I'm like, yo, as long as I just smoke weed, I'm fine. Like, but like I had to identify that I can't use anything like successfully, bro.
yeah.
Because once I hit the blunt, like, it gets boring, bro.
And at some point, you got to just take responsibility for your own. Like, bro,
Yeah.
I had so much issues with my family being like, "Why can't you drink?" Or like just
Yeah.
people. It's like, bro, it's not for them to understand. Like, if I was allergic to peanuts and every time I ate peanuts, I shit myself, like, I wouldn't be fucking being like,
Yeah.
"Well, everyone else said I could eat peanuts." Like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm allergic to peanuts. Not a big deal.
Dude, I came home, I had like 9 months, and I was like super NA. And I went to my dad's house, and he's like smoking a big baddie. It reeks like weed. He's got a big house, classical cars and shit. And I'm like, "Yo, man, you know I'm clean and shit now." He's like, do you mind like, not smoking around me? Because like, I got 9 months clean. He goes, "Hey, Gary, I don't give a fuck. Okay, it's not my fault you turned into a junkie." That's when I knew like the bagpipers weren't coming, like the confetti wasn't coming.
Yeah.
Because I got clean. I just knew like I had to just like stay clean just for today for like me.
Yeah, there's that saying.
Nobody
that,
gives a fuck.
Drug addicts are the only people who won an award for running outside of a burning building.
Yeah, exactly.
So, hey, well, I appreciate you coming on the show. I love you
Yeah,
very
man.
much. Totally
too,
down
bro.
to go to the gun range, and then we'll go flying.
Yes.
I would love to fly again.
Let's go. I'll let you do the takeoff.
I've like always wanted to like get my pilot's license, but I'm just like, man, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, bro. It's right in your reach, though.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I love you, bro. Thank you.
Love you, bro, man. Thanks for having me.
Later. This show is not affiliated with any specific 12-step program. If you or a loved one is struggling with an addiction, please find a local 12-step meeting. If you believe you may need detox or drug treatment of any kind, please call 833-999-1877 to speak to a specialist. This show is sponsored by United Recovery Project, a state-of-the-art drug and alcohol rehab facility. You can visit our website at unitedrecoveryproject.com.